Okay, everybody. I'm going to let me put the link, of course, in the comments, so that way. Oh no, I didn't mean to do that. Take that away. Okay, so it should be in the comment section if you guys want to join. Hello, hello, everybody. Feliz martes. Happy Tuesday. It is Tuesday. And I decided to come on here, see what you guys are doing. Let me send this link out to some people really quickly, and then we can go ahead and get started. If you're in here, hello, hello. Thank you for being here today. Let me get this thing. Every time I start, it just yeah, okay. So there's that. Okay, Jameer. Hey, Jameer. Hola, hola, hola. Um, so I know a lot of people were trying to join yesterday. It was the first time that let me see. Azriel. Azriel, it's saying that you cannot connect. You want to try again? Let's see. Let me see if she wants to try again to come up here. 'Cause I don't know what's going on. It will not let me connect you. Um, Hola, Demontre, ¿cómo sigues? Hola, Chelsea, Miss, yo estoy súper bien. ¿Y tú cómo estás? Hola, it's Justina. I'm about to drive. Hi, Miss Justina. ¿Pa dónde vas? ¿Pa dónde vas? Azriel, I'm trying to get you on here, but it's not allowing me to let you on for whatever reason. I'm not sure. Um, Hold on, guys. I hate this part. ¿Cómo está tu garganta? Más o menos bien. O sea, I took some medicine today, so I feel a little better than I did yesterday. I still have some pain, but I'm here. I'm not gonna let anything stop me from showing up from showing up for you guys. So estoy bien. ¿Y tú cómo pasaste el día hoy? ¿Qué hiciste? Um, I'm trying to add something to those comentarios. Give me 1 second. She says, I can hear you though. Okay. I don't know why. I don't know why it's doing that. Let me see something, guys. Hold on 1 second. I'm trying to add. I hate this part. All this technical stuff. Let's see. Let's do this. Um, let's see. Let's see. Jameer, ¿tú sigues aquí o ya te fuiste? Azriel, hi, Azriel. Gracias por estar aquí. Yo trabajé todo el día. ¿Trabajaste hoy? ¿Cómo te fue en el trabajo? Azriel, thank you so much for being here. I don't know what happened. Um, Let me see. Okay, guys. So also, I wanted to add my Cash App on there. If any of you guys want to donate anything, so I know these are free, and I don't ask you guys to pay to come up here. But if you guys are ever feeling generous and you guys are ever wanting to donate anything, you can. I'm still here. I'm on the clock, sadly. Oh no! Wait, what's your job out there? I didn't know that you were working in Dominican Republic. Or do you have an American job just located in DR? I'm not sure. Um, Anyway, so how are you guys doing? I'm waiting for some people to come up. If you guys were here yesterday, you guys know Elijah. I'm waiting for him to come so we can answer any questions or talk about anything. Um, Jim, American. Oh, okay. Yeah, I was thinking that as well. Um, So yeah, if you were in the live yesterday, I know I didn't really get to talk about it because as I was trying to explain it, I had some people join, and I wanted to go ahead and start interacting with them and not just have them there up there. But There are phrases that I think about throughout the day that when I come on here, I want to share them with you guys because I'm sure that you're not finding them in any textbooks or anything like that. And so one of the phrases was, let's see, one of the phrases was "Cuántos años me pones?" So that was one of the phrases that I shared yesterday, and basically that phrase just means like if someone asked you like "¿Cuántos años tienes?" How old are you? And you go, "Well, how old do you think I am?" Right? You could use "¿Cuántos años tú crees que tengo?" But it's more common to hear and to say "¿Cuántos años me pones?" Or some people even say "¿Cuántos años me echas?" Right? And so I had thought about that, and I want to share that with you guys just in case, like, you guys have never heard of that phrase before, or if you've ever wanted to use it but you didn't know how to say it the correct way. That is a more natural way to say it. ¿Cuántos años me pones? Um, I'll try to get another day. Okay, great. Yeah, I would love to have you come up. I don't know why it does that sometimes. I don't know if it's on my end or your end. But I can see you in the little thing to add you on. But when I try to click to add you on, it doesn't allow me to add you on. So I don't really know what's going on. Again, I put the link in the comment section if you guys want to join. Anybody want to come on? Know your face does not have to be on for you to come up. I think the limit is 6 people, so I'm included in the 6. So I think the limit is 5 people that are able to come up here. Um, and have conversation, ask questions, all the things. So there's that. The link is in the comments, and then also I did drop my Cash App if anybody wanted to donate anything. Um, Again, these are free, 100% free. But if you guys are ever feeling kind or generous and want to do that, you can. I have a comment here that says, "I'm learning Spanish, but when I speak, it's like I'm translating every single word to English and then saying in Spanish. Do you know how I can stop doing that?" Absolutely. R3D. So this is my first time seeing you in the chat. Hello, thank you so much for being here. Yeah, so I talk about that pretty frequently throughout the lives because when I was first learning Espanol, I did that exact same thing all the time, literally nonstop. The thing that helped me get out of that translating word for word thing was just what can I say that I did? Just consuming more Spanish, right? Just listening to more Spanish. That's the only thing that's really going to help you because after a while, you start to understand that these words and the phrases and everything is very repetitive. Son cosas muy repetitivas. So you'll hear them once and you'll be confused, and then you'll start hearing it more and more and more. And I think the more you just consume the language, the easier it gets for you. So that's what I would say to stop doing that. Just consume more content and more things in Espanol, and that can help you as well. Oh, another thing that helped me to stop translating is whenever I didn't know a word or something, I would look. So, for example, let's say I didn't know the word teléfono, right? Let's say I didn't know the word teléfono, right? This is teléfono. Let's say I didn't know that word in Spanish and I came across it and I'm like, oh my God, what's teléfono? Instead of me going to look up the word teléfono, I would go to Google and I would type in the word that I'm looking for, and then I would go to images. And so that way, instead of because when you translate word like teléfono to English, is phone. So every time you hear teléfono, you're gonna think of the word phone in English. But if you start putting pictures with the Spanish words instead of the English word with the Spanish word, when you start hearing the words, you'll start to see the images in your mind. So that's another way to help you as well. That's what I did, and it helped me so much, so much. And also because of that, there are certain things in Spanish that I know how to say in Spanish, but not in English for that reason. So that's one thing I could say. I feel like I've been joining a lot lately, so I'll give someone else a chance. I don't want to hog the lives. No, there's no such thing as hogging the lives. You can always come up here. And if it ever becomes too much, then I'll probably be like, hey, is there anybody who wants to get off the live? But you don't have to not come on. You don't have to do that. And again, I appreciate you guys for coming on anyways. I'm never going to stop you because, again, I don't really like being up here by myself. Someone says me as well. Yeah, so that's what I would say. 3RD, if you're still here, I can't see who's all here until you guys comment, but how long have you been learning Spanish, and where are you from? And if you don't mind, like, how are you going about learning the language. Um, I'm always very curious into you, like wanting some insight into you guys' journey and things like that. Let's see. I wish it showed me who's all in the live. It doesn't tell me at all, like quién está aquí. It just shows me when you guys comment. Um, so I can never see. Hello, if you're just now joining the chat, hello, hello. Te mando muchos saludos. Muchas gracias por estar aquí en el día de hoy. If you guys want to join again, the link is in the comments, in the comment section. Um, Also, if you're watching this as a playback after the live is already done, I see some people commenting and they're always asking, "Hey, where's the link? Where's the link?" The link is only available while I'm actually doing the live. Once the live is done and you're watching a replay, the link won't be there anymore. So, if you happen to be watching after we finish, you're gonna just have to catch me. I'm live every day from 6:30 to 8 o'clock Texas time. Someone says, "Have you ever lived in a Spanish country?" No, I've never lived outside of the United States of America, and I've really haven't lived outside of Texas. I lived in Atlanta for a little while, but not long enough to be like, I lived in Atlanta. Yo viví en Atlanta durante como unas cuantas semanas. Yo creo que fueron like cuatro, yo creo que un mes, digamos un mes, que yo pasé allá en Atlanta. But I lived in Texas most of my life. And so I'm a prime example that you do not have to live outside of the country or to live in the country where the language is spoken to become fluent in the language. As long as you're immersing yourself in it. Someone says, so you literally learned on your own? Yes and no. So of course there was different resources I used. There was like TV, music, and stuff like that. And then uh, Jethro, Hetro. I'm not sure how to say it, but so also if you don't know, I am half Panamanian. So my grandmother is Panamanian, and my aunts and them are Panamanian. They speak Spanish, and so my grandmother has helped me tremendously on my journey to learning it. But I did spend a lot of time self teaching. So basically, what I would do is learn on my own, and then I would take what it was that I have learned, and I would go and use it with my grandmother, and then she would kind of correct me if I made any mistakes or something like that. So that's how I went about that. Hola, Chelsea.
Hola, ¿cómo estás?
Súper bien aquí. Me siento un poco mejor, um, pero yo todavía tengo sueño.
¿Has tomado algún medicamento o algo así para tu garganta?
Sí, yo tomé unas pastillas para,
Mm,
um, para el dolor de garganta, pero I don't know. I don't really like to take medicine that much.
yo tampoco, pero tienes que tomar como un té o algo así.
Yeah, there. Hey everyone, I hope you're all doing well. Hi, J Dot. We're doing really well. Let me see. Someone says, if you don't mind us asking, when you haven't posted in 6 months, was everything okay in your life? Because I was getting curious. I'm a big fan of you. Actually, thank you so much for that comment. Yeah, so when I didn't post for 6 months, um, life was not the greatest, I will say. So I'm 21 years old for you guys who don't know. Yo tengo 21 años, and I'm still trying to figure life out. I'm trying to figure out what I want to do, the direction in which I want to go in my life. So there's that part of it. And then I was having like family issues and things like that I won't speak about here. But just going through all of that, it's kind of hard to come up here and make videos and be creative and help people when in your own life things are not going well. And because of that reason, I just didn't post in 6 months. And to be honest with you, it didn't even feel like 6 months. Honestly, 6 months went by really fast. But yeah, life was happening to me, and so I just didn't come. And then also as well, I just didn't think anybody like not to be that person, but I didn't even feel like anybody really missed me on YouTube. So I was like, well, what's the point? So that was that.
Well, don't disappear on us again. Listen, me and Ezra were just in the comments talking about how we love this group setting. I think this is really healthy. I love what you're doing.
Uh huh. Yeah. So no, I'm not going to disappear anymore. I had thought about that, and I was like, dang, if I were to disappear again, like I know how much this means to you guys. I know how helpful it is for you guys, and it would be different if other people were doing it as well. But because I seem to be the only person in this space that's doing it, I think I don't know. I just have a role to play here. You know what I'm saying? Not a role to play, but like I don't know what I'm trying to say, Chelsea. Like I just feel like I need to show up.
Lo que estás haciendo es muy importante.
Uh huh.
No tenemos otro espacio para hacer lo que estás haciendo. So,
Exactly. Yeah.
I feel I feel like this is like I normally am not consistent with my YouTube watchers, but I literally get on night now and be like, okay, let me go look and see if the live is on.
Uh huh.
What you're doing is powerful, and it's giving a lot of people a chance to learn, and a lot of people to come together and share their
Right.
struggles, share tips, and
And my favorite part about it though is just every day there's someone new, like every single day. And maybe not here on the panel every single day new, but like in the comments there's always someone new, or in my DMs. Like the DMs is just my favorite part actually. Just to see like the impact for the it's been really cool. So yeah, I don't plan on going anywhere anytime soon. But what I will say is I'll probably try to get a video out every now and then. I don't want to make any promises as far as making videos go, but I will show up here on live like every day. Because when it comes to videos, you have to go out, you have to film, figure something out, and then I do everything on my own. So when it comes to making the videos, recording the videos, editing the videos, everything is done by me, which could be a bit time consuming. So you know, there's that part.
for sure.
Let me see. Sorry, I got a message. Anywho, so I was trying to wait to see if Elijah was coming from yesterday to see if he had anything he wanted us to help him like understand or break down anything. Um, Chelsea, did you have the book, the yellow book, or no?
The yellow book.
Well, the book that I'm
Mm,
always talking about,
what's the what's the title?
Mastering Spanish Grammar, or yeah, Mastering Spanish Grammar, Mastering Spanish
I
Vocabulary.
have. This is gonna sound crazy, but I literally have so many Spanish books. I don't know
Okay.
which ones I have, so I have to
But
go
with
through my.
you, okay, because I don't have that many Spanish books. So with you having different Spanish books, like, are they teaching the same things? Are you learning something in one book that you didn't learn in another book, or like how is that going for you having different Spanish books and stuff like that?
So, so a lot of them are leftover textbooks from courses, and then some are just like random books I order off of Amazon. So a lot of them probably do overlap a little bit,
Hmm.
but generally, I guess where I'm at in my journey now, I'm not really in like the just trying to consume knowledge phase.
Right.
So a lot of times I'll be looking for something specific. Like for example, we're always talking about that subjunctive and where I'm
Right.
at with yeah. So not as much like the regular subjunctive, but just like for example what we were talking about yesterday where we're talking about the if clauses. Even after all these years, sometimes I have to go back and like bone up on that. So
Hmm.
I have books that are most of
Right.
the books I actually still read. It's just when I'm specifically looking for something, if that makes sense.
Got
Like
you. So
that was most.
when it comes to like the past subjunctive, like you still feel like there's some work that you have to do there?
Um, I would say yes because even though it's not as hard for me now per se as
Hmm.
maybe a while ago, but I want I never want to have to think too much. I'm definitely not at a point in my journey where I feel like I should have to think too much about what I'm saying. It should just roll
Right.
off my tongue. And I don't always feel the most comfortable. Sometimes I still have to stop and conjugate in my head, and I don't like
Hmm.
that. So
Right.
yeah, I still got some practice to do on that.
Okay. Well, let's practice. I'm always excited about that. Um,
Ugh, not the perfect subjunctive, not in this group setting.
it's gonna be good. It's gonna be good. So I've actually pretty much mastered it by now. But I remember how difficult it was for me, and I just could not understand. Um, I'm trying to think of an example. Okay, so how would you say? So I'm gonna give you a sentence in English, and then I want you to translate it into Spanish.
Okay.
Okay. Okay. So we'll do that. Okay. So if I wanted you to say, I wanted you to be there, how would you say that in Spanish?
Yo quería que tú estuvieras ahí, or Aquí.
Yeah, yo quería que tú estuvieras. Right. Okay, perfect. What if I want to say, my dad, okay, my dad wanted me to be a teacher.
Mi papá quería que yo fuera una profesora. Or,
Yeah.
my-
Okay, so what's the problem? Okay, hold on, let me think.
you're trying to trip me up now.
Wait, because you're doing good. Okay, what if I want to say, I wish you had told me.
Mm, I wish you had told me.
Mhm.
Ojalá que me lo hubieras dicho.
Yeah. Ojalá me hubieras dicho.
But you
Right.
see how I had to stop and think? I don't like that. I don't
Right.
like that. That's why I have
So
to.
okay, so then that the only thing is that you just need to practice. It's not that you don't know it. I think you're just probably just thinking too much about it.
Yeah.
I think that's what it is. Because I don't know why I was expecting you to not know, but you know. So I think it's just you being in your head a lot.
Yeah. It's just one of those. It took me so long to even get the basics on that one. I don't know why, but that one tossed me up for a long time. Like the subjunctive itself can be, let's be honest, the
Yeah.
subjunctive itself can be weird when you're first starting out. But then when you
Uh-huh.
start getting in all the branches of the subjunctive, it's so.
Right.
Whew. To the people who are just learning Spanish, let me just tell y'all when y'all get to that point,
Yeah,
it's
it definitely was tricky for me. How would you say like it's normal for kids to cry? Like how would you say that?
mm, I'm trying to think like do you feel like it I'm trying to think would that be subjunctive?
I don't know. I'm asking you.
I don't like because I don't feel like I don't know if I would say it injunctive because of subjunctive. I almost feel like it could be imperative, but
Mhm.
I guess it could be. Es normal que I don't know. Would that be subjunctive? I really gotta think about that. Es
Mhm.
normal que los niños lloran, but would it be lloren? Like I don't know. I would have to look that one up. Is that subjunctive?
It is.
Is it okay?
It is. So it'll
I'm
be
gonna
es
be honest. If I said it,
normal.
I probably wouldn't even say it in the subjunctive.
Es normal que los niños lloren. So when you have phrases like es normal que, no es normal que, stuff like that is the subjunctive.
mm,
Es necesario que, like it's necessary that you close the door. Es necesario que cierres la puerta, right? When you have phrases like that, it always triggers the subjunctive as well.
mm. Yeah, I know. Like when you're like talking about like advice or sometimes how you feel about things.
Mhm.
But I don't know. I guess I just it's normal. I had never really, you know how
Use
you
it,
never use something in
right?
passing, kind of never occurred to you. But yeah, I guess that makes sense.
Yeah, yeah, that's one of them. What's another one? Oh, you know what? When I was learning Spanish, it took me a while to finally understand. You know how in English we say like, what do we say? Um, what's an example? It's the word uno. So uno, you know it as one, right?
Mm-hmm.
But sometimes they be like, uno no sabe lo que tiene hasta que lo pierda, right?
Mm-hmm.
Uno no
One doesn't know
sabe
what they
lo
have
que
until they
tiene.
lose it.
Huh?
I said one doesn't know what they have until they lose it. I was just
Right.
translating.
So that took me a while to learn how to use in Spanish because they use that a lot. And it's so crazy I can't even think of any examples right now at this moment. But uno is one that I had to get used to as well. Because I guess instead of them saying someone, they switch it with uno.
Mm-hmm. Like
Mhm.
one. And I thought about something too. To I don't. Elijah's not on here tonight, is he?
I don't see him. No, he's not here yet.
Okay, because I was thinking about the say thing, and I was like, we were talking so much about the reflexive verbs, but
Uh-huh.
and I know we did touch on it a little bit, like for example, saying our credit cards is uh, accepted here, things like that. But I was like,
Right.
dang, I could have talked more about how say is sometimes used to refer to something generalized. like se habla español, or you know, because
Right.
we were talking more on like say in a reflexive form, but I guess
Reflexive. Yeah.
touch more on say can just
Um,
refer to something generic.
I had told him that whenever he came back, sometime during this week, I'll probably try to sit and like write out like all the different examples and things that they could use SEG, and then kind of help him out with that. But again, I still feel like with him being on his journey, I feel like because he only has él solamente lleva 3 meses aprendiendo español, y I
Mm.
just feel like it's still a little early for him to be diving into that. Or do you feel like it's never too early?
Mm, I mean, I could see that. Like, if he's still in the I need to consume vocabulary stage,
Mhm.
it might be a bit early for that. But
Yeah.
you and I both know sometimes it doesn't. We don't always follow the strict line of how we probably should learn.
Right. And I remember, I think it was Mr. Kendall. You were in here with Mr. Kendall was in here too.
Yeah.
And he was saying how it's important to learn grammar because then you can build your own sentences and things like that.
Hmm.
And I agree with that, but I also think that I don't know. I try to look at language learning the way we learn when we were babies. Like our
Hmm.
parents don't throw a grammar book at us and say, "Here is a grammar book and build your own sentences." Like they just say things to us and then we just repeat them. You
Hmm.
know what I'm saying? And then as
Right.
we get like the more vocabulary we learn, we start replacing this word with this word or this phrase
Mhm.
with that phrase. And I feel like that's how people should learn it. Um, and so that's one of the reasons why I didn't really want to overwhelm him with it because I don't want it to become so much to him to where he kind of feels like, okay, this is a lie. I probably never make it. I probably never learn it.
Right.
Um, and so I'm trying to figure out that balance between teaching him things that I think he should know, but also not giving him too much to where it becomes overwhelming. Um, and then, I don't know if you had that problem when you were learning, but I did. I never wanted to stop. I just wanted to keep consuming and consuming and consuming and learning and learning and learning,
Hmm.
um, and not even really trying to wait and focus and master this grammar point or this grammar point before moving on to. I just want to learn everything.
I definitely. I remember we first time I came on here, we kind of talked about my journey.
Mhm.
Definitely because of how I started, it probably did go a little out of order because, like I told you, I got very close to a Dominican family, so it was very
Uh-huh.
much a como se dice situation.
Right.
Like I
Uh-huh.
said, how do I said it, and it was good, and I was able because I was passionate about it. I was able to retain those things, but
Right.
I definitely think that it does kind of make more sense to, in hindsight, get that vocabulary first, learn those words, get familiar with the most commonly used words,
Hmm.
and then kind of build your way up to the sentence structure, and then one idea at a time. That's generally, I feel like, how it works best. But I mean, let's be honest, you get so excited, you
Yes.
start watching, you listen to music, watching novelas, and you just start being like, oh, that's a cool saying, they said this and that, and now I want to learn this and this. But I definitely, like Kendall said, there are no shortcuts, so you do have to
Right.
get that basic vocabulary in there, otherwise you're never going to get to a point of fluency.
Yeah, that's actually true. That's the word too. Excited. People get really excited. I know I got really excited. And I know when I would go out and speak to other people in Spanish and their reaction to me speaking Spanish, that was like the fuel for me to like want to just keep going because it was always a great, happy like reaction from them. And I was like, oh, I like the way this feels. Like I want to keep doing like more of this, you know.
Mm-hmm.
And even with Korean, like me speaking Korean and like the different like hair stores and stuff like that even gives me like fuel to be like, oh my god, I want to learn more Korean, just for that feeling. Um, so there's that. ¿Has escuchado el nuevo álbum de Bad Bunny?
No, I don't really listen to Bad Bunny.
Really?
I don't. I'm gonna be honest. I can't. No puedo con su español. De verdad, like
Uh,
it's
is it because it's
he,
like super boricua or like?
that could be it. I don't know. I'm unfortunately he does have some songs I like that song he did with Drake.
Uh-huh.
Trying to remember the name. Dile que tú eres mía, mía. What is the name of the song? Is it Mia?
I know what you're
Is that
saying.
Mia?
I know what you're referring to. I can't think of the name of the song though.
Oh, I love that song.
Uh-huh.
But in general, I don't listen to a lot of
Yeah,
Bad
listen
Bunny.
to him.
So.
Okay, okay, no problem. Wait, there's a comment from Azriel. She says, "What does basic vocabulary look like? I must have missed it being said in the previous live." Basic vocabulary, I think it could be different for everybody. When I think of basic vocabulary, I think it's important that you learn vocabulary that you're going to use every single day, right?
Mhm.
So if you're a painter and like you work in a school and you teach painting, like you should learn words that revolve around that. Of course, everyday Spanish, if you're going out and meeting somebody who happens to not be within that field. But I think if you are in a profession, you want to learn phrases and words. Like that would be your basic vocabulary, I think. What about you, Chelsea?
Yeah, I would just touching on that. So yeah, I definitely agree. I also think one thing that we do that we probably don't realize that we do, we use some of the very same words every day, all day. And I'm
Right.
referring to English. We use there are some words that you just use every single day of your life, whether
Mhm.
you realize it or not. And there are a lot of resources out there that will list those words that are most commonly used. And so if you can familiarize yourself with the words that you use the most in English and Spanish, that's a good start.
Right.
And then like you just said, like building more on that when you start learning words that will relate more to your personal life. For example, I told you I'm a pharmacy technician.
Right.
A lot of the words that, obviously I started out with basic Spanish, but
Mhm.
when I got to a more fluent level and I started needing Spanish that was going to work more for me, it was learning words that surround pharmacy and
Right.
learning this is what I have to say every day in the pharmacy in English. Let me
Mhm.
learn that in Spanish.
Right.
But yeah, that whether you realize it or not, and we just don't do it because we've been doing it since we were babies. There
Mhm.
are words that we just use quite frequently.
Right.
Learn those words in Spanish. That will give you your pool, your well that you can pull from
Mhm.
when you're trying to communicate.
Right. I agree. 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 How would you say "well" in Spanish? Like a well,
Well,
like a water well, like.
I don't know. That's a good one. I don't think I've ever. I don't know. Well, like a. I don't know. I have to look that up and get back to you. I'm gonna drop a comment under the video.
I think it's Pozo. Let me see. I think it's Pozo. El Pozo. Let me look it up just to be sure. Um, let's see. Because I know the well is like ballena, the well in the what's it called? Yeah, Fuente de Agua is a well. That Pozo. Yeah. So that's
Hmm.
how you would say it, El Pozo. Yes. Sid TV. Thank you so much for always being here. You've yet to come on the panel yet. We love to meet you up here. I was gonna say something to you, Chelsea. Dang it, I forgot. Oh,
Yeah.
that's what it was. So I don't know if you ever like desire to have like niños or whatever, but like if you ever do, or like if you ever did, like would you want to teach them hablar en español or?
Um. So yeah, if I do, yes, porque mi novio es dominicano y él no habla inglés.
Mhm.
So
Oh,
if
okay.
that happens, like they're gonna have to speak Spanish
Right,
because even if he learns English, he's not gonna get fluent overnight. So
right, right. Okay, great, great. I know for me, when I ever do have children, I want my children to at least speak three languages.
that's
Um, I don't know what the third one would be, but I know English and Spanish for sure. Someone said, do you guys have any shows or movie recommendations that are in Spain Spanish songs also? Ooh. So, Miss Jada, I don't know if you know, I don't know if you've been here long enough to know, but when it comes to Spain Spanish, I just am not a fan. So I don't know anything to do with Spain Spanish
I.
at all. What
I don't
happened?
like no me gusta el acento. Like not I don't like Spain Spanish.
I
And it's
don't
not very commonly spoken over here in the States to be honest.
right.
Um,
I don't know what it is. Oh, she said are not. Oh, are not. Duh, I should have saw that. That are not in Spanish, any shows or movies. Well, one show that I used to love that I don't know where to find it now was La Esclava Blanca. I think it was more of a. I
I
think it was
started
more.
watching that.
You have.
I didn't finish it, but I did start it. That was so good. Oh my
It was
gosh.
such a good show, and I'm so mad they took it away. I remember watching Celia as well. Um,
Yeah, I did start watching Celia Cruz's story too. Ooh,
oh,
love.
that
Um,
go
I would
on.
say definitely a really good novella. Like in terms of the Spanish is well, I mean, it's going to depend on where you're at in your journey, obviously. But
Mm,
to me, the Spanish, I watched it a few years ago. It wasn't that bad. Um, it's on Hulu. It's
hmm
called La Tierra de Reyes, so the Land of
Okay.
Kings. That
Uh-huh.
one's really good. There's also one called La Madrastra that you can watch on YouTube. You can
Hmm.
watch the whole thing on YouTube. Somebody has posted it up there. And then they even have like the spin-off special on there. That one, there's actually like 4 or 5 different versions of it. It was such a good novella. They did it in multiple countries. But
Okay.
the original one is on YouTube and it's so good. If you haven't seen it, check it out. Full
I
of
haven't
drama.
seen it, so I'll probably watch it. You said it's called La Madrastra,
Yes, the stepmother.
the
It's so good.
stepmother. Yeah, I might even check that one out. I haven't been watching. I've been watching a lot of. I've been consuming a lot of like Dominican like podcast or YouTube channels. There's one I put in the comments. It's called Tres Pesos.
Please tell me you watch 90 Flow.
90 Flow.
90 Flow. NANY 90 Flow.
Let me see. You said NANY
Yeah, 90 Flow.
90 Flow. Oh
She
no, I've
like
never.
out of DR. She does like short skits
I'm
that
seeing
teach.
her right here.
Yes,
I'm
yeah,
gonna
she
check her out. No, I've never seen any of her videos. She's a Dominicana.
yeah, es
Oh,
dominicana. And she does like videos that like teach you moral. You know how it is, like moral videos. Like, oh, you learn some type of moral lesson from this video, but it's really just little short dramas, and they're so good. I
right.
did.
I'm gonna check them out. No, I always love finding like new shows and things like that. New YouTube. I just like YouTubers. I watch a lot of YouTube. I like watching vlogs and stuff like that. So um that's what I like. But I like Tres Pesos, very entertaining channel. They have a bunch of different content. You could just go look through there, but it's very entertaining. I learned a lot of like Dominican slang and Dominican words and stuff like that through watching that YouTube channel.
Demontre, have you watched anything from the Pero Light channel?
Yes, I used to. I don't know if they still make videos now.
I don't know. I think after Gariel left, like I think it
Uh,
went down a little bit, but I do still think they do some stuff. Like
I'm
it
not
still
sure.
pops up on my timeline sometimes, but I don't watch as much as I did when he was on there.
Yeah, when I was first learning, I used to watch them all the time. I used to just love their videos. But I had thought they had stopped. I think they did like a goodbye video or something. Maybe it could just been one for one of the cast members or something like that. I'm not sure. But yeah, Jameer says I used to watch them. Yeah, I think everybody used to watch them, honestly. I really love their channel. Who else was there out there? I don't know. I don't remember now. Um, let's see. Jameer. What was I gonna say, Chelsea? I keep forgetting what I was gonna say. Yeah, I still have a little headache, so my head's kind of like, you know, all over. So I had came up with a plan for the different days of the week that I want to do something. Um, but I need to start figuring out like when I can get you guys to come on set days. I think that'll help me with what I'm trying to do.
Mm.
As far as like who's going to be able to come on Monday, who's going to be able to come on Tuesday, like that'll help me out instead of like you guys just like popping up. Which is still fine. Like I don't have no problem with that, but just so that way, like I know, okay, on this day there's going to be this many people here, and then we can do this activity. You know what I'm saying? Like I think that'll help me out um a lot as well. Oh my God, Chelsea, I'm just thinking like I can't believe I was gone for like 6 months, 7 months. But
Yeah.
can I be honest with you guys though? The reason why I never did the lives was because I just didn't think anybody was going to come in like and participate with them.
Mm.
You know what I'm saying? And it's not easy being in front of a camera and like talking like on
Right.
a live and talking, and then there's like no one there. Like if you're talking on a camera and you film it and you upload it and no one watches, that's a whole different story. But like to be on a live, you know what I'm saying? And like there's no one there, it's just kind of like okay. Um, and so
So
for a long time, I just did not want to do it. And then another reason why as well is because I don't know if you know, I know one of the comments, J Dot, she mentioned Nika Flow 505. Have you ever seen his channel?
no.
Okay,
Not that.
well, that's how a lot of people who even like follow my channel, whatever they know me from. I went live on his channel one day. He was doing kind of like what I'm doing now,
Hmm.
hosting like this thing with a group of like a lot of other Spanish learners.
Hmm.
Um, and I got on there, and they were amazed at like how fluent I was and stuff like that. And then they came over to my channel. But another reason why I didn't do it was because he was doing it and I didn't want to be like copying. You know what I'm saying? Like I didn't want to be like that. And then I remember my stepmom telling me, like, when you go into a store and you go down the bread aisle, how many different brands of bread do you see? They're all bread, but like they just have their own, you know. And that made me think, okay, well, I can do it too. Just do it like my own way.
Exactly. And
Yeah.
that's the thing. A lot of I know, like I would have benefited from this space, which once again, you and I have said it. We've been doing this for over a decade, so it's
Right.
different. But back then, if we would have had this space, that would have helped me out tremendously.
For
So
sure. For
I think
sure.
it's great that you're giving this opportunities to people. Even at later stages in the Spanish, it's still nice to communicate with people who are either going through what you've been through or been through what you've been through and are trying to have a common goal.
Yeah.
And so, yeah, I definitely think what you're doing is dope. I think you should, as long as it always fits in your schedule. And if you do have personal things going on, never feel bad about having to take a seat back to work on what you
Yeah.
need. But I think what you're doing is great, and I certainly appreciate it.
Yeah, no, I mostly did it because I like to teach, Spanish, but I mostly did it as far as like for community.
Mm.
Um, because I just feel like if like there's people in here that are maybe not at the level they want to be, and if they're able to see and communicate with other people who were just like them, they won't feel so alone or so trapped. You know what I'm saying? Or maybe people have like anxiety to go out and speak in real time with people, but it maybe through the screen it's not so bad. Like I just think about things like that, and so that's why I come here. But there's sometimes I have stuff going on, but I also feel like there's 24 hours in a day, and what's an hour and a half of my day?
Yeah, for sure. And I
And
like the first live I think I caught was I think the lady's name was D, where you did the food ordering exercise for her, and I just thought that was great. I thought it was
mm,
great. Like where she
mhm,
was at in her Spanish, I feel like that was a good challenge, but not too challenging. Like
right,
so nervous in front of everybody, but just. And then there was more people on the live that day to kind of help her.
right. Yeah, I want to do things like that. Like, what is it called? It's called, is it called? I guess it'd be improv or
Yeah, like little skits and.
yeah, like look, like trying to help people like in the area in which they need help in. Like that's mostly what I'm trying to do too. So I don't know, I'll see. But I do love how every time there's always someone new. And then it always amazes me at how many people there are that are like, there's always a new like Spanish learner born every day. I think that is just so cool.
Mhm.
Like I really
About how
do.
many people you probably inspired to start their journey by doing this,
Mhm.
because a lot of people are probably at home like Elijah, for example, like where do I begin, where do I get uh really started on my journey, and this gives them space and tools to really get into it.
Yeah, yeah, that is true. I just love the internet. I don't know. I think it's just so great. Jameer says I have a weird work schedule. Every other week I have off Thursday, Saturday, and Sunday. Okay. I'm probably just start writing it down and then just so I know. I think another thing that helps too is just having a schedule. Like I used to when I did go live, like sometime last year, I would just jump on at any time. And I feel like it just works better for people to know, okay, this day at this time I'll be live. I think that helps too. Um,
Yeah, I love that because I know like okay, 7:30 my time, I can
right. Oh,
hop on.
you're an hour ahead of me.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, okay. Yeah. And I
I'm
think Jameer's like 2 hours ahead.
over here in the south.
Is it cold over? ¿Hace frío por allá o no?
um, yes and no, probably not to a New Yorker, but to maybe
Okay,
to.
Okay, got you. No, I feel like if a New Yorker came to Texas, they'd be like, "What is this? This is not cold, but it's
Oh,
cold to me."
now, yeah, y'all's weather is something else. Like, I cannot take the summers. My aunt lives in Houston, and it's less.
Yeah, Houston is the worst part. It's really hot over there. I'm like 3 hours away from Houston,
Mm,
but I do love Houston. Every time I go to Houston, me la paso súper bien.
mm.
Siempre, 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 siempre.
Pues
Like,
ella Pearlands, está
huh?
cerca de Houston. Ella vive en Pearlands. Creo que está cerca de Houston. Like, it's not
Oh,
exactly
okay. Outside of.
like right outside of Houston. Yeah.
Okay. No, Houston is big, really big. Um, but I've been spending a lot of time in Dallas, que también me gusta. I love
Mm.
Dallas too. Dallas is really great as well.
Te quiero
¿Qué-
hacer una pregunta.
¿Cuál es la pregunta que me quieres hacer? Dale.
Anoche estábamos hablando de comida, de
Mhm,
Caribe,
mhm,
and we had talked a little bit about plantain or whatever. And I
mhm.
wanted to ask this last night, but I was like, I don't want to be that person. Have you ever tried mofongo?
I tried it.
Am I the only one who doesn't like it? I don't like it.
I think so. Um, I when it comes to food, yo como de todo. The only thing that I do not like that I just cannot eat is eggs.
Really?
I
Okay.
cannot eat eggs. I throw up every time I eat them. I don't know what it is about egg, but I just can't. Anything else, I'm not a really picky eater. I eat everything.
I don't like when I was in Puerto Rico, I promise you, I was so tired of mofongo. And my friend did throw it up one time. Actually, we went to one restaurant, she got some mofongo, threw it up. But
Uh-huh.
I like it. And I feel so bad. Like, don't judge me, y'all. Anybody
Right.
Puerto Rico or don't judge me.
Wait, so like, what is your favorite dish? Like, what would you consider to be like your favorite?
Um, I would have to say if we're talking Latin food in general,
Mm-hmm.
fajita de pollo. But if we're
Okay.
talking specific dish to a specific country,
Uh-huh.
I really like. Well, I guess I have two. I like pollo guisado, like
Okay,
Dominican,
pollo guisado. Yeah.
and then like I told you, my best friend is Salvadorian. I
Uh-huh.
really like pupusas de frijoles y queso. Like,
Okay.
have you ever had a pupusa?
I don't think so, but I heard of it.
It's like a it's like a flatbread, but
Uh-huh.
has stuff cooked into it. So a lot of Salvadorians eat it with cheese and pork, but I
Mm,
don't eat pork, so that I
you
don't eat that.
don't.
I
Very
don't.
interesting because I'm trying to get away from pork too, but I really like bacon, so
But you can eat like tocino de pavo. You don't have to eat pork bacon.
you're right. I don't know. I think I've been growing up so long, eating a lot of pork and chicken and stuff like that. As much as I want to like get away from it, it's really difficult.
And you are over there in Texas, home of the barbecue, so
Yeah,
that
I am in Texas. Miss Jada says, if you had to compare mofongo to American food, what would you say that it's close to? Excuse me.
it's how can you even explain mofongo? Mofongo is like meat wrapped in plant. It's just I don't even know how to. It's
It's
really
just
like meat wrapped in plantain. So it's kind of I don't know. I just don't like it. How would you compare it? I don't know.
I'm looking up here. It's saying that mofongo is a traditional Puerto Rican dish that's similar to mashed potatoes and can be a great side dish or main course. It's made from mashed fried plantains, garlic, and pork, and can be served with broth, protein, or beans and rice. So
I
you're
ate it with, but I don't know. I guess I'm not because I can't say I don't like plantain, but it's just something about mofongo specifically I don't like.
right. No, I love it all. It tastes really good to me. She said, "Me gustan mucho las pupusas."
Ah, yes, they're so good. Ay,
I'm
rica.
sure. I'm sure. What about your? And when it comes to wait, two babies or no babies?
See,
Two babies.
uh
What do
huh.
you, cuál es tu like? Like tú tomas cerveza or?
No me gusta mucho cerveza, pero me encanta coquito.
Okay, okay. So, yo no fumo ni bebo tampoco.
Oh, okay. Okay.
Yo sí he bebido unas cuantas veces, pero it never goes well for me.
Mm.
Ever. Ever, never, never.
If
Uh,
you,
go ahead.
uh, mi cuñado, el boricua, and he
Uh-huh.
makes like every year around Christmas, he makes coquito, and
Uh-huh.
it's and if you don't want to get like drunk, it's a good drink. Like it's made with rum,
Uh-huh.
and uh, it's basically well, some of y'all probably already know it's Puerto Rican eggnog, but
Mhm.
it's not as like milky or chalky as regular eggnog. It's so good, y'all. That is probably like my favorite alcoholic beverage.
I'm going to Puerto Rico this year. And I don't know what month. I know sometime maybe during summer or after summer. But I just can't wait to go. What are some things that you would recommend me to do like while I'm in Puerto Rico?
So while I was there, I stayed in Isla Verde, like it's Coastal San Juan.
Okay.
I spent a lot of my time while I was there in San Juan. We went to like they have this huge mall there.
Hmm.
Mall super cool. I love to shop though, so I'm a little biased, but yeah, the mall there. Um, they have they have a Bacardi factory there,
Okay.
and it's
That
at that
Bacardi's
what?
like alcohol, right? Bacardi.
It is. Oh, I keep forgetting you don't drink, but it's it's fun though, cause it's like you literally go to the factory. They give you like a history on Bacardi. And I
Hmm.
think like the original, I can't remember if the original one was there or if it was in Cuba, but they give you history on Bacardi, and then you can either do like a mixology class where they'll teach you how to make different drinks with Bacardi, or you can just do like a drink tasting thing or whatever. But we did mixology, which was fun. They taught us how to make mojitos, how to make Cuba Libres, and how to make I think it was some type of frozen drink, but that was really fun.
Hmm.
Um, tried to go to the gun range out there, but they were kind of weird about our IDs or something. Uh,
Okay.
and
What
then,
about, ¿y tú fuiste para la playa o no?
oh gosh, the water out there is gorgeous. It literally,
Mhm.
like, go to the, for sure, you're going to spend some time at the beach because it literally looks like, now, mind you, I haven't been since the hurricane, so it could be a little different now,
Okay, okay, got you.
but the last time I was there, like, I have pictures of the water at the beach. It literally looks like you could just take a cup and drink it like it's blue Kool-Aid. It's gorgeous.
Mm.
Yeah. Oh, and oh my goodness, you got they have people who do the little bike tour things. Like you can get on the back of people's bikes and they'll like pedal you around
Uh-huh.
and they'll pedal you through the city so that you can see the different sites. That's fun too.
Okay. Okay, I gotta see. I don't know exactly what we're gonna do, but I do know we're gonna go, and I'm really excited about it because this will be my first time in a Spanish-speaking like place, you know.
Mm.
And so I'm excited. Cuando tú fuiste para allá, ¿cómo, o sea, no tuviste ningún problema con hablar en español con ellos?
Mm, durante ese tiempo no hablaba español como yo hablo español ahora.
Oh, okay,
Pero
okay,
de verdad no, porque like even back then my Spanish was pretty decent, so it wasn't really that bad. And then because it is a U.S. territory,
right.
there
Hablan
are
inglés.
muchas personas que hablan inglés.
Okay, okay,
But
okay.
funny
Uh-huh.
story. When I went on the trip, there was only two of us who spoke Spanish. Me and a guy who is black and Dominican.
Mhm.
Two out of the five that spoke Spanish.
Uh-huh.
So, you know, the few interactions we had to have in Spanish, it was fine. It wasn't really an issue. A lot of what we ran into, like we would go to restaurants and they would speak Spanish, Spanglish. Like it would be like, oh, everybody's together or todos separados. And I just be
Okay.
looking like, y'all just say what y'all know how to say in English and which I don't, y'all don't. But
Uh-huh.
for the most part, we were getting along fine, whatever. Oh my goodness. Of all places, I was at the mall
Mhm.
y fui a KFC
Mhm.
para comprar mi almuerzo
Mhm.
y yo estaba tratando de ordenar pan. But I don't know if you know, there's no direct correlation, no direct translation for the word biscuit. I'm
Okay.
sitting there with the girl. Everything's fine. I'm ordering. It's KFC. It's KFC. It's KFC. I'm
Mhm.
trying so hard to order this biscuit. I'm saying it over and over again. I'm like, a biscuit. I want a biscuit. And I literally just, I don't know. I think I had just been there for a couple of days. I was just missing English.
Uh-huh.
But I literally had to switch the girl on the register to take my order. Because we just could, she could not figure me out when I kept trying to order a biscuit. It was so sad.
You know what you just said that Jameer said the other day was you were saying how you were just missing English. Like you just couldn't wait to get back to English.
Yeah.
Jameer said that the other day, and I think I'm the only one. I've never experienced that feeling before. Like I've never been like, oh my god, let me speak English. Like genuinely like I'm grateful to speak English. Don't get me wrong, but like I do not be missing English at all. Like I love Spanish.
I do too, but Bear can attest after you like when you're in a Spanish speaking country, after a while, you do start to it be a little because it's so many things that you don't have to think about when you're in the US because everybody speaks English.
Right.
But when you're in the country, it starts to be the little things that you don't even think about, like
Mm.
that you gotta turn around and ask. And I've been in some weird situations, let me tell you, where you had to ask for some weird things and trying to figure out the word. You're like, oh my gosh.
Uh, Hi, Jameer. I
Hi.
had a question for you because I know you're out in the DR, and I was watching some videos, and I noticed like here in the USA we have a lot of stray cats, but they seem to have a lot of stray dogs over there. And how was that? Because if I see a dog, big dog, I'm gonna run the other way. Like, so how was that?
They're very used to humans, so they don't react. Like that was my instinct, but like I kept it all inside, and I just decided to walk normal. Most of the time, I think a lot of them are sick, so most of the time they're just like laid out on sidewalks. So you just walk around. I did have like one try to follow me home because I saw a sign. Um, I'm sorry, I don't know what that is.
Yeah.
I saw a sign and it was like food delivery. So I was
Mhm.
trying to take a picture of the sign, but I guess I spent too much time standing there. So the dogs got interested, and it was two of them, and they started like following me. But there, I haven't had any dogs that were like aggressive at all. So
That's
that's like
good.
something else that's very, very different.
Yeah, that's very different. Because I was seeing a video and I was like, I don't see any cats, but I see all these dogs, and nobody's scared of these dogs, and these dogs look big. Like, no, I would have been scared. But I guess that is the norm over there. So whenever I do go, I'll be sure to look out for that. And then I noticed another thing: they're always on a motorcycle. And
Yeah.
are they called motorcycles or what do they call them?
Motoconcho, like
Oh, okay,
that. That's pretty much it.
okay.
I take
Moto.
them a lot of times.
When they do Uber, do people get? Is that an Uber? Like, would that be considered an Uber?
Yeah, I do that. Like, traffic here is like really bad, especially like depending on the time. So
Mm.
I'll take a motorcycle instead if I don't have to carry nothing with me.
Oh.
Jameer, let me ask you a question because you're in DR, right?
Yes.
So I experienced this. I just, but like I said, when I go in Puerto Plata, so it's a little further than different than Santo Domingo. But when you're ordering an Uber, do you have your Uber drivers trying to tell you what they're gonna charge?
No. And that was on
That's
Uber?
yeah. Like when we would order Ubers, mind you, they can't even come into the airport, so we would have to do weird stuff to even catch the Ubers. And then when we would, it would be like the fare would be like $5, but then they would accept the ride and then message us and be like, "Oh, I want you to pay this, I want you to pay that," basically as a tip. And we just be
Yeah.
like, "Tip you what we're gonna tip you, but how you gonna try to tell us like?" And that's like that was literally every Uber ride we had in DR was like that.
Yeah, I did have that, but I had to get a little bit Dominican because me being American, and then I don't know, I have great customer service, like, not to toot my own horn, but I don't ever think about getting smart or getting like, sassy with people, but I have had people accept the ride. Number one, if you see that I put my ride for my card, I do have the option to put cash, but I put for my card. Why would you accept it and then tell me, oh, do you have cash? No, I don't have cash.
Mm.
So no. And oh, well, can you cancel the ride? I'm not stupid. Uber is going to charge me a cancellation fee, so you're still going to
Right.
get paid. If I cancel, no, you cancel it and don't accept rides if you don't want to accept card. So that's the way that I combat that. And I tell them, go ahead and cancel it. I'm not going to cancel it. We can sit here all day because I got another app and another phone number. So
Mm.
I'm going to get my ride regardless, but you're going to cancel it and I'm not going to pay for it.
Right, it's crazy how they be. Like, I guess because I'm so used to the Uber here. When I went over there, I was like, "What is this? Like, what are y'all doing?" They want
Yeah,
to get over.
I don't know. I don't need. I never take Uber, so I don't even know how Uber works. Um,
I take it a lot. I do it for everything. Uber Eats, Uber Rides, Uber everything.
well, Uber Eats is really expensive, so I do DoorDash like as like my job or whatever, and I can't believe the amount of money people be paying to like order McDonald's to their house that live 3 blocks away. Like it's crazy.
Well, it's way cheaper here, so I do it
Yeah,
all the
yeah,
time.
I'm sure it is. No, it's like I think for DoorDash here, no less than like 10, 11 bucks, no less.
I pay it for the DoorDash every time. Not even gonna lie. Even before, like right now, my car is messed up because I hit a deer. But even
Mm,
before I messed up my car, if it's 2 o'clock at night, I'm not going nowhere. I'm a
mm.
DoorDash every time.
Güey, so
Yeah.
Jimmy, ¿cuántos años tienes? Siempre se me olvida.
Uh, oh my God. See, this is a day in not Spanish. Well, 20, 24. Sí.
24, ok. So, para una persona como yo, yo tengo 21 años, bueno, yo voy a cumplir los 22 años dentro de 2 meses. En el mes de marzo, yo voy a cumplir los 22 años. ¿Tienes algún consejo para mí siendo o teniendo 21 años de edad? Qué, qué, qué consejos me daría? O sea, like, en la vida.
What do you mean?
Like, what kind of advice would you give for me, like, as a 21-year-old in my life? Like, you've been
No.
24, you've been 22 before, like, you're 24 now. So, like, what kind
Yeah.
of consejos tú me darías a mí?
And I have younger siblings, so the main thing I try to say is just live because I made like a lot of mistakes. Not really. Like I never did drugs. I never drank. I'm not into that. So I don't do them type of mistakes.
Uh-huh.
Um, and I obviously don't have no kids, so I don't do that type not mistake, but yeah.
Right.
So I would just say just live and like make your mistakes and you can always start over. Like
Mm.
I've I've gotten to the point where I've almost moved out on my own, like mad times in the US.
Uh-huh.
And I would have a car, have a job, and then I would almost be ready and my car would break. Like I like crashed on the bridge one time. The other one like broke and it literally put me in such a depressive state because I had so much at that point and then I had to restart. Then
Mm.
I'm back looking for another car, back like looking for another job. So I've had to like restart a lot of times, but I never stop, and I don't compare my success to anybody else.
Okay.
And I had to learn that with Spanish too, because I don't know. I think somebody else said it, but I did definitely look at your channel. I'm like, oh, he's black and he's young, and I'm trying to learn Spanish, and like he's trying to learn, but he's way better than me.
Mm.
So yeah, and around that time, that's when I had first met Juan, and he was actually very, very encouraging, and that's
Mhm.
how I got to the point that I am now. But don't compare yourself to anybody, and if it takes you longer, that's absolutely fine.
Right.
Um, and any avenue is a good avenue because a
Mhm.
lot of people will make you feel like it's only one way, but that's literally not the case at all. Because even moving here, so many people were like, "You have to save up $5,000." I literally came here with I have my like first month's rent and my deposit for my old apartment and an extra $50. I already paid for my plane ticket, but that was the only thing I came here with.
Mm.
And and like it worked. So
Mhm.
I don't like people telling me this is the only way. If you don't have this, and that, you're not gonna succeed and you can't do it. So I
Right.
don't listen to that type of stuff anymore.
Interesante. Muy interesting. No, yo tenía que empezar de nuevo mi vida, like, so right now is the second time that I have to do it. Because the first time I had to restart my life over again was at like 19. Yo tenía 19 años. And I had everything, man. I had a car, like I had my own apartment, like my credit was like a seven something, like I had all this dinero, like mi vida really good. Um, Después yo conocí a un muchacho y todo like everything went to the ground after that. And then I'm had to restart. So now I'm still in like rebuilding building phase. Um, and so I don't know. I just kind of always want to know like other people's journey and what they think, and like with them having been my age already, like what would they say? But to keep living is a good one as well. And then I also noticed for myself, I find myself a lot of times like, oh, I'm 21. I feel so old, but I know 21 is really young, but it's the oldest I've ever been. And so for me, it just feels old, even though I know it's not old. So yeah,
I've already gotten halfway to 30 comments and I'm not even 25 yet. So I definitely feel like I'm approaching it. My biggest flaw is I keep on connecting a certain age to a
mm,
certain area or level of success. And I feel like
okay,
that's something that causes unnecessary stress. Like, oh, like you're almost 30. This is what you should have at 30.
right,
But, that just goes into you finding your own route and you living your own life and
mm,
not basing it off of somebody else making your own map, because if you're
right,
trying to follow somebody else and your stuff is not lining up exactly with their timeline, you're going to find yourself frustrated and disappointed and have unnecessary stress. If you're still making things work in your way, that's all that matters in my opinion.
right. And Chelsea, did you have something to say?
I was just gonna say I'm older than both of y'all. Tengo 32 años.
Uh
That's the
huh.
first and only time I'm gonna say it on here. So for those who caught it, just wanted to let them know.
Uh-huh.
I
So,
would say
go
definitely.
ahead.
I do agree. Make your mistakes because you're only gonna get one life, and
Mhm.
don't never beat yourself up for not having being this age and not having this, or being this age and not having that, because that's how you sometimes end up in situations that you could have avoided. Like
Right.
that's how I found myself in a marriage that I did not need to be in. Just
Mm,
thinking like, oh, because I'm turning 30, I have to do this or I have to. So definitely don't compare yourself, and definitely don't feel like you have to box yourself into anything based off of your age bracket.
mhm.
But I will always say, do the things you want to do and learn the things you want to learn,
Right.
because they say it, knowledge is power, but it really is. If you
Right.
know a little bit about a lot, you'll always find that useful down the line. You know what I mean?
You know
Like,
what's so crazy? You say that, and I'm a reader, so I read a lot of books, like a ton of books.
mm,
And he said he had to go back to work. He'll still be listening. Okay, Jameer, talk to you soon. Um, yeah, you said that, and I just read that in a book yesterday. So I don't know. I always take things as like confirmation about different things. So
mm.
yeah, thanks for that. That was really good. I was gonna say something else. One thing I was learning too as well, guys. I know this is Spanish live, but like we're gonna make this about learning Spanish and life because like we're all going through both of those things right now. But one thing that I noticed that a lot of people don't do in their life is a lot of people don't study consequences of things. And I try my best to do that before making the decision because I know sometimes you can have like this opportunity and it's always about like this is great or how good this is and all the pros and everything. But I don't feel like anybody ever studies like the consequences of things. Um, and I feel like that's why a lot of people get into situations they get into just by simply not knowing what the consequences were going to be, you know? Um,
Oh, for sure.
yeah, that's what I'm thinking. I don't know. I can't believe, I mean, I thought you were my age. Oh my God, look at
Mm,
you.
yeah, no, I'm 32. I have second time I said it, last time for sure. No, and it let me tell you, it flies because I remember being 21, being in college,
Mhm.
and
Yeah, yeah, it does fly. I remember like I think I started YouTube at like 17, 18. I don't remember. Something like that. And I'm already finna be 22 in 2 months. So it's just like dang, like time is really like moving. And so yeah, as far as like the you were saying knowledge is power, I think that is true as well. I'm not a person that loves school, but I love to learn. So um
can
that
you
is
hear
so
me?
I can now. Were you talking?
Oh my gosh, somebody tried to FaceTime me and it kind of like kicked me out the live for a second.
Oh, yeah, no, I can hear you now. I couldn't hear you then.
Yeah. But I was saying like when I was at your age, I was in college living. Oh my gosh. We had a club called Arizona Pete's. Monday
Mhm.
through Thursday, I was in class. Thursday through Sunday,
They does it this Sunday.
I was getting lit. But
Gee,
I don't, like I
regret
was
it.
saying earlier, just don't have regrets. It's just make sure you're learning. That's all. Just always
Yeah,
make sure you're learning along the way.
very interesting. Very good. I like today's live. I don't know about you. What do you think?
It was fun. I just wish we had more people come into, like, there was people in the chat, but I wish more people hopped on here.
I think I don't know what it is. I think it's just them being nervous. That's the only thing I can think of. I don't know. I don't know why more people don't come on. I'm sure more people will come on though. I have faith in that. I know that, but I don't know what it could be. I think it's just being nervous. Also think people think they have to have their camera on too, and that's another thing which they don't.
One
Um,
day when my hair and makeup is done, I'm gonna come on here with the camera
you
on. But
should, you should, you should. Um, I come on here looking any kind of way. I mean, you guys know what I look like anyway, so might as well. Miss J Dot says she's shy. LOL. It's okay. You can be shy and still come up here. Um,
we
we're
don't
really
bite.
cool. Yeah, no, we're cool. This is a really safe space. You know, sometimes people go, "This is a safe space," and then people come on here and they're all rude and stuff. Um, no, this is really a safe space. Really, I
And
think
I love that you make it comfortable for people of all levels of
right levels of Spanish. Yeah,
Spanish.
Yeah, I remember being. I don't remember where. I think I was in middle school and I took a Spanish class. The teacher was just not kind at all. Like she just wasn't. And I'm like, oh my god, if I were to be a teacher, I would do it this way. Um, and so that's the thing too. And then I used to be a manager. I became a manager at I think it was 18 when I was working at McDonald's. I became a manager there. And again, just the way I made it comfortable for all like the new people that were there, people that's been there for years, like everyone loved me, and all of my other coworkers, my other managers hated me. Like they hated me for that reason.
Mm-hmm.
Um, but I just feel like it's important to make people feel like, like they belong because people do belong. Like, I mean, obviously, there's other people who know more at a higher level, but that doesn't mean you have to treat the people who are not there yet bad?
Oh, I do have a question for you, Spanish related, and this
Uh-huh.
might be good for some people in the chat.
Mhm.
I just, I guess, from I know you did a lot of self taught. I did self taught too, but then I also did some coursework too. Do you feel like at a certain point in your journey you kind of decided what accent you were going to take with your Spanish?
Ooh. Um, I knew the ones I liked, and I think for me, it kind of worked out kind of because the ones I did like were the people that I was around.
Mm-hmm.
And so it just like I like the Puerto Rican accent, I like the Dominican accent. And
Mm-hmm.
those are what my friends are. They're Dominican, they're Puerto Rican. And
Mm-hmm.
so it was just kind of something that just happened naturally for me. Um, but when did I know? I just kind of when I started learning Spanish again, I was in school, and I think when you're in school, you kind of want to fit in as best as you can.
Mm-hmm.
And so maybe I did like a different accent, but I ended up going with that one because that's mostly what I'm around, and I just wanted to be able to fit in with them and speak the way they spoke, and not to be like an outcast. Um,
Mm-hmm.
and so I think I just by default just ended up going with it. Um, I think so. I don't know. What about you? When did you know?
So I had when I was in honor Spanish, I had a teacher who was like, when you're speaking Spanish, you got to fabricate an accent, which to a
Mm,
certain degree, I do kind of agree with that because have you ever heard someone speaking, even for this not necessarily for you, this could be for the beginners in the chat too, but have you ever, heard someone speaking English and their accent is so heavy because they're trying to speak English the way that they speak their own language that it
yes,
almost makes it difficult to understand?
yes.
I definitely think that it does help to find an accent to model after. Now, as far as picking the one that I was gonna go with, I always tried to keep my Spanish as general and neutral as possible.
Mhm.
So I guess closest would have been like Colombian because that's what they say is like the one of the most neutrals. But I'm not gonna lie, over the years, just who I've been around, and especially when I get mad, is very Dominican. Sadly,
Okay.
like I was
Okay.
in DR, I had people from DR like, "Oh, you're Dominican though, right?" And I'm like, "No," and they're like, "Yeah, but you sound like a Dominican." I'm like, "Yeah, but I'm not."
Uh-huh.
So
Yeah.
it kind of just happened that way, but I tried to keep it neutral for the most part. But I
Mhm.
do think you hit a certain point in your journey when you start getting crossing that threshold where you kind of.
Yeah. I know with me, I don't try to keep my Spanish neutral. I mean, I've tried to do it here only because I know that like there's people in here that are learning, but out there, like I don't even think about neutral. Like it doesn't cross my mind. I just speak.
Yeah.
Um, that's it. I don't know. Um, what's something else? Something else. I'll be trying to think of different topics that we could talk about that's around Spanish. I don't know.
So does it, and this is, I guess specific to those of us who look like us, but do you feel like,
Oh, hello. I don't think I can hear you. Hello, Chelsea. I wonder if she can read the chat. I can't hear you. Mijeda says, "Thank y'all. I love that we can talk about many topics, both in Spanish and English." Yeah, that's what this is about. Especially, I know, so I'm able to see my statistics when I go through the YouTube app, and it basically tells me like who my audience is. So it tells me the ages that you guys are, where you guys mostly are from. Um, are there mostly women or men that watch? It gives me like this whole list of different statistics that I'm able to look at. Um, and it shows that the audience is mostly anywhere from like 25 to like 45. And so I know a lot of you guys probably have a lot of wisdom that you can give out and share. And so we can always have those different conversations. As Ariel says,
can you hear me now?
I can,
Somebody just tried to FaceTime me again and it kicked me off again.
I can
But
hear
I was
you
about to ask
now.
you a serious question.
I can hear you now.
Do you feel like with, because I'm just thinking about my own journey, I guess, do you feel like, and this might be good for some people who struggle with this, do you feel like being a black person who speaks Spanish, like it made you more nervous about communicating with people in Spanish, or made you more reluctant to communicate with people?
Yes and no. So how can I explain it? So, like I said, my grandma speaks Spanish, and for me, I just until I went to school and I saw that it wasn't common, I always thought it was very common because my family speaks Spanish. So for
Mm,
me, it's just like, okay, we're all black, they speak Spanish, like this is not a big deal. Um,
mm,
it wasn't until I went to school, started speaking Spanish, and people were kind of like, "You're not like." The Hispanics would say I wasn't Hispanic enough to speak Spanish, and then the black people would say, "Oh, you're not black enough because black people don't speak Spanish."
mm.
And so there was that thing, and then it was kind of like, okay, so where do you fit in? Um, so it was that, but I don't know if you ever feel this way, Chelsea. But I have to say, anytime that I speak Spanish, it is almost like this superpower that I possess because
Mhm.
it's like people look at me and it's the reactions, it's the faces, it's the where are you from, it's the you caught me off guard. Like people respond as if I just did a magic trick.
Mhm.
And so I don't know. I kind of like being able to do that at my age today at 21. But when I was in school, like I said, people want to fit in, and so I didn't. There was nowhere to fit in, and so it was kind of hard for me then.
Yeah, I'm gonna be honest. I do love those gotcha moments sometimes. Like, I especially love them. Like, I told you I have two jobs, and one of them, my part time, is Victoria's Secret. I
Mhm.
do love those moments where someone's sitting there just complaining, 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 and then out of nowhere, I say something in Spanish, and they're just like,
Okay, yeah. Uh-huh.
like, oh, you speak Spanish? Yeah, yeah,
Uh-huh.
I do.
Yeah.
But yeah, like sometimes I do love it that it does open up that world of like, oh wow, you speak Spanish, tell me about yourself, or how'd you learn, or it opens up conversation.
Uh-huh.
But sometimes dealing with some people, it's almost like I have a fear of like, oh, they're gonna get offended because I look how I look and I speak Spanish. Because some people,
Mhm.
you know, who are not used, like people who are from the Caribbean, they're used to it. When I was in DR, they didn't think nothing about it. Nobody assumed I spoke English. Nobody
Right.
tried to speak to me in English.
Uh-huh.
It was not that kind of situation. But when I'm dealing with, I guess, more people who are from countries that are used to more fair skinned people,
Mhm.
sometimes the reaction can be mixed. And so I
Uh-huh.
think that was something I kind of, for me, was a struggle because I just didn't want to feel judged or didn't want
Right.
people to be offended by me or feel like I'm
Mhm.
trying to appropriate anything. It just something, it was something I've struggled with. Now, yes, I do kind of see it as a superpower, but it took me a while
Uh-huh.
to get.
Yeah, same for me too. And then also, I hate to put them on blast like this, but for me, most of the feelings I get of like, oh, I really don't want to speak Spanish because of like what they're gonna think about me. That part comes from like my mom's side of the family.
Mm-hmm.
Because on my dad's side of the family, like I told you, they're Panamanian, they speak Spanish. But on my mom's side, I'm the only bilingual person, like in the
Mm-hmm.
whole family, like the whole family.
Mm-hmm.
And so it's always that, oh, tú te crees mejor que nosotros porque tú puedes hablar en español. Like
Mm-hmm.
it's always that, and I'm just like, bro, like no. And so, like comentarios así me hace sentir como que no, de verdad no quiero hablar tanto español al frente de ellos porque se van a burlar de mí o van a pensar que yo me creo mejor que ellos, aunque yo no me creo mejor que nadie.
Mm-hmm.
But
Oh,
yeah,
no te crees moreno, no quieres ser negro, da 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 da. Mm-hmm.
yeah, always that porqueria, like bro. Um, so yeah, I had to experience that. But today at 21 years old, 2025, no, I don't experience that anymore. Um, mm-mm. Someone says, why are black families like this? I don't know. I really think it's just black American families, really. Because when you look at other countries, like they speak, like look at Africa, for example. Like then people speak four, five, six different languages. Like Jameer says, I threw them thoughts away a while ago when it came to native speakers. I used to work with many different nationalities at my previous job, and my mindset was, you will need me for help. Yeah, they be needing us. And I'm willing to give it. So speak to me when I talk to you. I'm so happy that I got to meet you, Chelsea. I'm so happy that I got to meet Jameer and Azaria and everybody. Like, I feel like I have new people now. Like, like yeah, I just feel like I have a new community now, new people. We can talk about all different kind of things together. Pretty cool.
Yes, yes.
Um,
It's been awesome. This has been a deep live. We went deep tonight.
we did. I think this is the first live of us not only sticking to like Spanish stuff, which is cool too. I think that like it gives us a chance to get to know a little bit more about each other and our different mindsets and stuff like that. Um, outside of just Spanish, like which is our main reason for being here. But like it's good to know other things about people as well. So I like this. I did like this. This was pretty cool. Um, I'm gonna be here tomorrow. Are you gonna be here tomorrow or no? Are you busy?
What's tomorrow? Wednesday?
Mañana es miércoles.
Ay, tengo que trabajar en Victoria.
Oh, you have to trabajar. Someone says I want
Uh,
to join. Fit for Cade. If you want to join, you can. There should be a link in the comments. If you scroll up or something like that, you should see a link, and you can come up here and chat with us before we go. That would be pretty cool. Puedes unir, por favor. Sí, tú te puedes unir. Hay un
mhm.
enlace aquí en los comentarios. What happened, Chelsea?
No, I was telling them, come on, babe.
Yeah, this is the first time I've seen this YouTube name, so they must be new here. Um, but yeah, tú te puedes unir. Hay un enlace aquí en los comentarios. You can just copy and paste it, and you should be able to come up here. I'll add you to the chat.
And I'm gonna mute myself and shut up so we can bring someone else in.
No, you can still stay on too. I think it doesn't. The max is like six people at once for now. I think I would have to upgrade. I would have to purchase a different upgrade, and then it'll let me add more people on at once.
Gotcha. And I'm gonna keep pushing for you to do this meetup.
Yeah, so I know I want to have it sometime this year. I just think realistically it's going to be sometime like not the end of the year, but like somewhere near there.
Okay. Just don't do it around September because it's my birthday and I got so much planned for that.
Okay, I got you. Hola,
Hola, ¿cómo estás?
súper bien. ¿Y tú cómo estás?
Yo estoy más o menos porque yo empiezo las clases 17 de enero.
Ok. ¿Y estás preparada? ¿Estás lista o no?
No estoy preparado porque yo tengo 5 clases en este semestre.
Oh, ok.
Sí.
Wow. Y tú hablas súper bien español.
Gracias. Yo aprendí el español hasta like 10 años, pero yo tomo 3 clases por la profesora con la aplicación de Prepperly. ¿Tú sabes Prepperly o no?
No, yo no conozco Prepperly.
Conozco, la aplicación de Prepperly es la aplicación que consiste de diferentes profesores que hablan idiomas diferentes como chino, mandarín, francés, inglés o español.
Ajá. No, yo no conozco esa aplicación, pero suena muy interesante. Eso, tú dices que llevas más de 10 años hablando español. Ok, ok. ¿Y cómo, o sea, qué te inspiró a ti a aprender español?
Otra vez, por favor, lo siento.
¿Qué te inspiró? ¿Qué te hizo querer aprender español?
Oh, sí. Yo noté sí que mucho en mi ciudad hay muchas personas que hablan español, pero yo noté sí que cuando apliqué a trabajadores necesité hablar y escribir español.
Ujú. Ok, ¿y Chelsea, quieres hacer una pregunta a ella? Chelsea, ¿nos puedes escuchar? I don't
Oh,
know.
Oh, te estaba hablando con mute. Estoy pensando. Deme un segundo. I'm gonna get back to y'all.
¿Cómo te llamas? ¿Jamie?
sí, mi llamo es Jaime, pero ¿cómo se dice? Nickname es Jaime. Like.
Oh, ok, gotcha, ok. Un placer.
Bien hizo tu pelo, me encanta.
Sí, a mí
Muchas
también.
gracias, muchas gracias. Yo tengo una pregunta. ¿Puedes crear Discord, por favor?
Que si yo lo puedo creer.
Sí.
¿Qué es eso y para qué mucha gente me lo pide? Mucha gente me ha pedido que haga una cuenta de eso, pero no sé qué es. O sea,
Yo
para,
tampoco. Yo he escuchado de Discord, pero no sé qué es.
¿para qué me lo pides? O sea.
¿O grupo de Instagram o something? Yeah.
Oh, es como, Discord ¿qué es Discord?
Discord es la aplicación que hablan con personales o gentes. It's kind of like a thing with different channels that have like you can chat with different people. It's like different forums. It's kind of like Reddit, but it's like you could chat video call. ¿Dónde vives?
Yo vivo en el estado de Texas.
Yo vivo en Nueva Jersey.
Oh,
¿Qué
ok.
hace tiempo en tu ciudad?
Bueno, hoy hacía calor, pero Texas tiene, el clima es como que muy raro aquí. Un día calor, otro día frío, un día que hace
Claro,
viento.
claro.
But there's like all different seasons in one week
Oh.
in Texas. So it's like that.
¿Tienes mascotas?
No tengo mascotas en este momento, pero a mí me encantan muchísimo los gatos.
Tengo un gato.
¿Tienes
Yo
un
tengo,
gato?
lo siento.
¿Tienes qué?
Oh, lo siento, yo tengo 3 gatos en mi apartamento.
Ah,
3. Ay,
3 gatos.
a mí me encantan mucho los gatos, de verdad. Los perros me gustan, pero es que ladran mucho. Ladran
¿cómo se llaman
bastante.
tus gatos?
Mi gato se llama Paris, Trunks y otra vez Nene. Nene es muy loca en mi apartamento. Ella corrió mi apartamento todos los días.
Ujú. Interesante, wow. Y, o sea, ¿cómo es la vida por allá donde vives? En Nueva Jersey, ¿verdad?
Otra vez, por favor, lo siento.
¿Cómo es la vida por allá?
En Nueva Jersey hay diferentes actividades a hacer como yo ejercicio en la gimnasia, como de las películas, como Nueva Jersey está cerca de Nueva York, pero yo no, yo voy a tren a Nueva York o a autobús.
Okay.
En mi ciudad hay muchos transportes ir, como autobús, como tren, Lyft o Uber.
Uh-huh.
Hay muchos tenidas en mi ciudad. Like, mi ciudad es muy gentes divertidos.
Okay.
Like, hispánicos, afroamericanos,
Mhm.
blanco, ¿cómo se dice? I guess blanco, gentes blanco, ¿cómo?
Gente blanca.
Gente blanca.
Ajá. ¿Y cuál es tu actividad favorita?
Mis actividades favoritas son mm, hago gimnasia, bailo zumba o hip hop en la gimnasia de YMCA.
Mm,
Traigo diferentes comidas o alimentos en mi ciudad hay diferentes restaurantes como japonés, mandarín o ¿cómo se dice? I'm trying to say Chinese. Yeah, mandarín o
ujú.
chino, sí.
Sí, no, ajá.
Ujú.
Interesante, wow. ¿Y es tu primera vez aquí en el live?
¿Cómo se dice?
¿Es la primera vez que estás aquí en el live? ¿Que es la
Sí,
primera?
sí, porque yo quise a visitar live ayer, pero yo fui al gimnasio. I was so sad because I'm a huge fan of your channel. Like, I've been watching you for a while, and
Oh,
it's like
wow.
I'm like a huge fan. So I was like, yeah,
That's very interesting. I was like, because I never seen your name in the comments before until now. So I'm thinking this is your first time here, but I didn't know that you watch my channel. That's very interesting.
yeah, I love. Me gusta su channel. Or
Ajá. Mi
sí.
canal. Ajá. El canal te gusta. So,
Hola, bienvenidos, Chelsea. ¿Qué pasa?
ella,
Ay, mi teléfono se quedó sin carga.
oh,
Ay,
okay,
Dios
okay, okay.
mío, sí. Claro,
Wow.
claro, claro.
Pues es un placer conocerte a ti. Ya son las 8, so ya me tengo que ir, pero estaré yo aquí mañana por si quieres venir.
Sí, sí, yo puedo.
Si tú puedes
Sí,
venir,
yo lo puedo. Sí,
ok.
sí, sí. ¿Tienes Instagram o no? Porque,
Sí, tengo. I want to give you my, let me see. I'll put it in the chat.
gracias.
Let me
Sí,
see.
yo cambié mi teléfono en español a tan aprender y, ¿cómo se dice? Remember. En usar español.
Mhm. So that's
Um,
my, that's mostly, so I have two Instagrams. I have Instagram and then I have my Spanish, like for you guys, my Instagram. So Demontre Spanish is the name of the Instagram account.
ah, vale, vale,
That you
vale.
can find there. And then you said you can come back tomorrow. That'll be really cool because I have more
Sí.
questions for you. And then Chelsea, tú tienes que trabajar mañana, so te voy a ver pasado
¿Vas a estar aquí de web?
el jueves. Sí, yo estaré aquí todos los días.
Ok, nos vemos el jueves por la noche.
Okay, all right. So yo te voy a ver el jueves. Que paso buenas noches. And then for Jaime, ¿verdad? Jaime.
You can just say Jamie, or I guess I know that has Jamie as Jamie, but Jamie's is okay.
Okay, Jaime. Okay. Fue un placer conocerte a ti. Again, I'm gonna be here tomorrow. If you want to come by, you
¿Qué
can.
hora mañana?
I'm sorry.
¿Qué hora la clase? I'm sorry, I'm trying to say like what time tomorrow. ¿Cómo se dice?
So every day I go live the same time. So right now for me it's 8:06. What time is it for you?
Son las 9 p.m.
Okay, so you're like an hour ahead of me. So
Ujú.
it'll be 7:30 for you because I go live every day at 6:30. So it'll be 7:30 your time.
Ah, perfecto, es perfecto. Sí, sí, sí.
7:30 your time. And then I know you were questioning like how to join. The same way that you joined today will be the same way you're able to join whenever. There will be a link in the comment that you can click on, and then you should be able to come. Um, Right now, I haven't upgraded the StreamYard, so
Mm.
6 people can be on at once. So if you ever come to
Ooh.
live and there's like 6 people already, just let me know you want to come in, and then I'll be like, hey, anybody want to get down to let somebody else come up? Um, so never be afraid to speak in the comments. So yeah, it was so nice to meet you today. Um,
Thank you
and I
too.
hope you guys will be able to talk more, ask you more questions stuff tomorrow. Chelsea, thanks again for being here. I guess I'll see you on Thursday.
Mm, nice meeting you, Jamie.
Igual, 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 lo mismo, lo mismo. Nos vemos hasta el sábado para ti, Chelsea, pero nos vemos mañana, ¿sí?
Nos vemos. Sí, hasta el
Sí, sí.
jueves para ella. Ella va a
El
estar.
huevo, sí, sí, lo siento, lo siento.
Okay, guys. Buenas noches. I will talk to you guys soon.
Nos vemos hasta mañana.
Adios, mañana. Thank you, Jameer, as always, for being here. I will see you tomorrow. Yes. Azriel, thank you. See you tomorrow. Miss Jada, hopefully see you tomorrow. There was another person in here too. El Cid TV, if you're still here, I hope to see you tomorrow as well. Um, yeah, so it's 8:07. I'm gonna go now. Have a good night, everybody. Hasta mañana. Good night, guys. Good night. Nos vemos. Sí, nos vemos mañana. Y bueno, no termina así.